Welcome to the recording for the PRINCE2 Agile Foundation version 2 official sample paper 2. So here we go. We begin with the first question in this sample paper. Which is a key metric assessed in an agile maturity assessment? Once again, which is a key metric assessed in an agile maturity assessment? A. Progress on the burn chart. B. Definition of done. C. Psychological safety. Or D. Objectives and key results. It's a maturity assessment for agility. Therefore, we need to look at some clues here. If you look at A and B, they don't give us much clues. C is possible. Psychological safety is definitely related to agile maturity. So, and then D is a different one. So C is probably correct. So let us take a look at C. Yeah, that's correct. So the agility metrics are psychological safety, agile maturity, and agile sustainability. So psychological safety is definitely one of the key metrics for agility. And so that is correct. And the maturity assessments for agility are carried out in the first process of starting up a project. Or if missed there, then it should be done in the initiating a project process in the initiation stage. Choice A, the progress on the burn chart. Burn chart is a different technique. It shows progress during the time box or iteration. It shows what work has been is still pending. Of course, from that, it can be also ascertain what is still left, what is completed. So we have burn up and burn down charts. In a burn down chart, typically it's easier to note quickly what is still left, whereas in a burn up chart, it is easier to note quickly what has been completed. So B, definition of done, that's again a different thing. It's a shared agreement within a team that specifies all the criteria that any task or a deliverable or a piece of work or a collection of work items must meet to be considered as complete. So it's either done or not done. So we don't have anything such as almost done or about to be done. Then D, objectives and key results. These are defined by organizations to focus on what matters most to them and to align their teams around those common goals. So it's possible that an organization may have OKRs at the topmost level, and that can be cascaded downwards into the lower levels, into team OKRs aligned with the upper level OKRs. So objectives are generally quarterly, and key results are specific metrics or targets that to be achieved to ascertain that the objective has been met. And the key results are tracked usually every week if the objective is a quarterly one. Question number 2. Which of the following is a purpose of the progress practice? A. Collect and assess problems and control changes to the project's baseline. B. Identify, assess, and control uncertainties. C. Provide a forecast for the project objectives and continued viability. Or D. Document requirements and establish the means by which they will be met. It is about the progress practice. And let's take a quick look at which one could be the possible answer. In choice A, we see the word changes and problems. It's going to be the issues practice. Choice B has the word uncertainties. That will be the risk practice. C has the forecast, etc. So that is most likely to be the progress practice purpose. And last one, the means by which requirements will be met. This is more of the quality practice. Therefore, C should be correct. Yeah, indeed C, because the progress practice establishes mechanisms to monitor and compare actual achievements against those planned. Also, to provide a forecast for the project's objectives and continued viability, and to control any deviations causing an exception. Number 3. What is used by a team to collaboratively resolve a blocker that is hindering progress on delivering a user story? A. Trading or swapping. B. Refactoring. C. Technical debt. Or D. Swarming. The key word in the question is collaboratively, resolving a blocker. That's the phrase. Hopefully you figured it out. It should be the last choice, D, swarming. Swarming is a collaborative approach in issue resolutions. So if a team encounters a problem or a blocker that is hindering their progress, so for example, a task or story is stuck, or some obstacle arises by which a team member cannot resolve it alone, then all the team members or a group of some from the team can swarm on the issue, come together, collaborate on it, and resolve it quickly. Choice A is different, trading or swapping. This is used to handle emerging change. And by replacing one or more requirements or features or user stories, that is, with others of a similar size in terms of effort. So typically during an iteration, while the work is going on to deliver those stories of the iteration, if there's a change needed, it's more like an emergency change. And therefore, as the team has already committed to deliver some items or some user stories, the best they can do is to take out the one which is probably less priority now and bring in the other one which is higher priority. But then the effort should be very similar. If it is of a larger effort, then it is not achievable in that iteration. If it's much lesser effort, then there'll be still some more space left in the iteration. So they could probably absorb something more as well. Refactoring, it's from the software world. It's a process of changing a software system in such a way that it does not alter the external behavior of the program, but improves its internal structure. And we can do this not only for software, but any other product. Choice C, technical debt. That is a precursor for the refactoring. In fact, technical debt, it is used in the software domain mostly. It refers to the consequences of poor system design or architecture or software development done in a poor way. And this debt is the work that needs to be done before a job can be considered complete. For example, quick fixes are technical debt, because quick fixes might be done in a hurry without proper structuring in the code, software code. Eventually, that may lead to other issues in the software when it is running, and therefore that must be cleaned up afterwards through the refactoring. Question number 4. In the release planning workshop for initiation, what defines the measures that will be used to show progress? A, OKRs, B, release map, C, key user personas, or D, key outputs. One of the previous questions should give you a clue to answer this one. Also use that method in the exam. Sometimes you may have some clues in some other question that can lead you to the correct answer in another question. So the phrase here in the question is measures that will be used to show progress. You might recollect that a short while ago, we discussed about OKRs, and the OKRs would be the correct answer, the measures that will be used to show progress. And it defines a clear set of, it is needed to define a clear set of OKRs to guide the project progress and measure the success. Whereas B, release map, this is the happening in the release planning to update the release map with the prioritized features and define timelines for upcoming releases. So the question is, of course, about the release planning workshop for initiation, but then it's very specific for the measures. So therefore, even though B is also from the same workshop, but A is the correct answer. Choice C, user personas. Now, this is not part of the release planning workshop for initiation. So it's used in the project initiation workshop to identify and define key user personas that will guide product decisions. Then choice D, key outputs. This is in the wrap-up topic. It includes activities to review key outputs, and these are not used to define the measures to show the progress. Okay. So, number 5, which principle helps assess the project's viability at defined intervals? A, manage by stages. B, manage by exception. C, focus on products. D, tailor to suit the project. This is a principles question, and it's about the project viability to be assessed at regular intervals, and therefore it will be managed by stages. As you know, managed by stages goes like this. A project is planned, monitored, and controlled on a stage-by-stage basis, wherein the project board authorizes one stage at a time and delegates authority for day-to-day control of the stage within agreed tolerances to the project manager. So A works well. Choice B, managed by exception. This is establishing governance by delegating responsibilities and setting tolerances for 7 performance aspects of the project, namely benefits, cost, time, quality, scope, sustainability, and risk. Choice C, focus on products. This is about delivering well-defined outputs rather than focusing only on activities. So it's about first defining the product before starting to build them through various activities. And the product definition should be agreed in the form of project product description and product descriptions. Choice D, tailored to suit the project. This is to keep PRINCE2 flexible and to be adapted based on project size, complexity, risk, and organizational context. Tailoring is a must. So tailoring could be done to various things such as documentation tailoring or roles tailoring and other tailoring. Question number 6. What is categorized as a product that fails to meet the agreed quality specifications? A, request for change. B, off specification. C, problem. D, business opportunity. Now, if you notice, all these 4 choices are about the types of changes or the types of issues, we should say, in the issues practice. But one of them is about a product that fails to meet the agreed quality specifications. You might have figured it out. It is choice B, off specification. That is correct. It is a product that will not meet its quality specifications. So, for example, a requirement of a product might not be fully met or is totally missed out. Choice A, request for change. This is typically a change to any baseline. So anything that has been agreed and approved. For example, existing requirements to be modified, then a request for change would be needed. Problem choice C is an issue with an immediate and negative impact. For example, a supplier has gone bankrupt. Choice D, business opportunity, is an issue that represents unexpected positive consequences for the project or user organization. So, for example, some additional funding has been made available. Question number 7. Which of the following supports an organization to grow agile maturity across the teams to enable learning? A, rich communication. B, growth mindset. C, servant leadership. D, training and coaching. So since this is about enabling learning, you might have thought about 2 options possibly, such as B, growth mindset, or D, training and coaching. So yeah, it's one of them. It's not rich communication, doesn't gel well with the question, and servant leadership as well doesn't go well. So it's possibly B or D. The correct answer here, you might have guessed, it is indeed the last one, D, training and coaching. Because people do not need to be only informed, but also need to understand the application of the proposed changes through theoretical training and practical coaching on the job. Choice A, rich communication, is about getting as much information as possible to minimize miscommunication or faulty interpretations. Because the short iterations in Agile, there is no time for misunderstandings. Therefore, usually communications is more visual rather than too much of text. B, growth mindset, is the fundamental belief that any person can learn, adapt to change, and therefore grow. And this is one of the core of the Agile mindset. Choice C, servant leadership. Um, Here, the interpretation is that the best way to lead a team is to be a servant of the team, which means that the leader puts team members' needs above their own needs, mainly for the benefit of the team and eventually for the benefit of the organization. They ensure that everybody is supported in the team, that they are well and they have they have with them what they really need to function effectively and efficiently. Question number 8. Which artifact is updated to show trends in risk exposure during an iteration? A. Cumulative risk burn down chart. B. Project canvas. C. Risk register. Or D. Burn up chart. So we have the risk in the question. So therefore, A and C do have the word risk in the answer choices. It's possibly A or C, not B or D so much. And the correct answer here is A, cumulative risk burn down chart, in which the total risk level of iterations can be tracked. So it'll show the trend in the risk exposure. Ideally, the total risk levels should be decreasing over a period of time. B, project canvas. It contains the project vision, business value, business options, costs, users, scope, benefits, and major risks. C, risk register. This is to maintain a record of identified risks of the project, along with the status and history. And choice D, burn up chart. You might recollect from a previous question, the burn charts. It shows the completed work against the deadline, and it depicts typically story points um, over several stages or iterations, either one, to forecast potential completion dates.